Welcome to this class of artificial intelligence, and in this class we are currently discussing neural network. And in the neural network you have covered so far some basics and how a neural network works, and few of the learning algorithms also you have seen. In this class we will discuss about a very popular learning algorithm which is known as backpropagation learning algorithm. And in this learning algorithm, we will see that how it is applied for feed-forward multi-layer perceptron. So first of all, we will see a three-layer feed-forward multi-layer perceptron neural network architecture. And this feed-forward multi-layer perceptron, this multi-layer perceptron is written in short MLP. Hence, we can write it as three-layer feed-forward multi-layer neural network architecture. So the example which we are taking is going to be a three-layer, and to be very specific about the number of nodes in a hidden layer, we will be fixing the number of input nodes, number of neurons in a hidden layer also. So what we are assuming that we have 5 inputs which we call as x1, x2, x3, x4 and x5, and these are collectively known as input vector pattern, where you can see that this vector x belongs to n0 cross 1. For this specific case where we have only 5 inputs, this can be written as x belongs to R x is R. Here n naught will be 5 cross 1. Now we have 4 neurons in the next hidden layer. These are summing nodes, and each of the neuron is getting all these 5 inputs coming to this, and when this input reaches here, then it is multiplied by a constant number. So that is known as weight, and these weights are known as, represented as first index is going to be index of this hidden node, and second index is going to be this index of this input node. So for this, the weight will be written as W11, and for this line the weight will be written as W12. So first index corresponds to this one, and second index 2 corresponds to second input. In this way we can call this as W13. So 1 is corresponding to this, and this 3 corresponds to the third input. Similarly, we can write this as W14, this will be W15. In the same way, we can show that for the second neuron, the summing node of the neuron, these inputs are coming to this, and with some weights they will be coming to this one. And after this, we'll be having activation function, and this activation function we will call f dot, and as this corresponds to first layer of hidden neurons, so we'll be giving this superscript f superscript 1. Similarly, this summing node, which is going to take the weighted sum of the inputs, so all these inputs are multiplied with their corresponding weights, and then they are coming here. So what we get is known as weighted sum, and that weighted sum is passed on to this activation function. So for this second neuron, this will again be called as f1 and dot. Similarly, third one will be having the same f1 similar to this. This one will be having the same. The weights, all these weights corresponding to all these neurons will be, here will be again getting 5 inputs coming from these 5 neurons for this. And for this summing node, these 5 neurons, these 5 inputs are coming from these 5 inputs which we are getting here. So this, all these weights which we'll be having here will form a matrix. This matrix we represent as W1. This superscript represents first layer. And whatever we are getting here as weighted sum, this we call as activity level vector. Activity level vector for layer 1. And this is represented as V vector. Now if we go to this one, then this will be V superscript 1 and subscript 1. This will be, this weighted sum here will be superscript 1, means corresponding to layer 1, and subscript will be 2 because this corresponds to second hidden neuron. Similarly, this will be V superscript 1 and subscript 3, and this will be V superscript 1 and subscript 4. And these all 4, these all V's, 4 V's will be represented as V superscript 1. Similarly, these outputs here, outputs of these activation functions, will pass on to another set of summing nodes. Here we assume that they are 3 in number. Weighted sum we will be getting here also. We'll be having these outputs of activation functions coming to this. This will be coming to this and to this. And the nomenclature corresponding to weights will be same as we have discussed here. That is, this W will be, because it is from first neuron, so it will be W1 and coming to this first activation function W1. This will be coming from, means this is connected to this first neuron and is getting input from second activation function. So first subscript will be corresponding to neuron, and second subscript will be corresponding to this activation function, so it will be W12. Similarly, W13 and W14. Now here, in the same fashion, we will be getting for the second neuron these weights going here, and the weights representation will be, for example, for this one, for this line, it is from second neuron to first activation function, hence its weight will be represented as W21 because it is connecting the second neuron to the first activation function. Similarly, this one will be W22, and this third one will be W23, and this fourth is going from second neuron to fourth activation function, so W24. Now to differentiate from this first set of weights, which is giving this weight matrix, from this one, from these weights, we'll be using a different superscript. So here, this whole set of all the weights will be represented as a matrix with a superscript 2. So in this way, the set of weights for the second layer will be having superscript 1. Similarly, these also individual weights also are given superscripts like this. These are also given superscripts 2. They must be given superscript 2. This should be given superscript 2. Here should be given superscript 1. In the first layer, superscript 1. So this will be represented as a matrix with superscript 2. This will be represented as matrix with superscript 1. And now we'll be having a third layer, which we may call as output layer, where we have this activation function. We are taking a specific example where we have only two activation functions, two summing nodes, followed by activation function. Rather, we should first take here one activation function. First activation function should be considered here. This will be giving superscript 2, and this will be giving representation as superscript F2 and dot. These are the activation function corresponding to second layer. And then whatever output we get, that will be passed on to the next layer. So here we will have summing nodes followed by activation function, and then we'll be having outputs which we call y1, and this we may call as y2. These are outputs of the network. Here the activation function will be represented as F3. Now we can have inputs getting passed on to the next neuron, this one, and as we have seen, this is first neuron, so first script will be representing neuron, and second subscript will be corresponding to this first activation function. Here this will be W1, 1 corresponds to this, and this will be 2, so 1, 2. Now we can see that the input coming to these neurons, this neuron, we have one more here which will be W2, 1 3, and here we will have 3 lines coming here with their corresponding weights. So this matrix will be calling as W3, and these should have their individual superscripts 1 and so on, here also 2, here 2. For all these, for this we should have superscript 3, 3, 3, and similarly for all these. And as we have seen here that this activation level vector for layer 1 was represented as V1. Similarly, activation function here will be represented as V2, and activity level vector will be represented as V3 here. The outputs here which we are getting at these activation function outputs, these we represent as X out 1. This superscript 1 represents layer 1, and this vector belongs to this R, and as we have 1 2 3 4 activation functions, so it will be belonging to this R4 cross 1. Now outputs of these activation functions here of the second layer will be known as X out, will be represented by a vector X out 2, and their dimension will be these are 3 activation functions, so 3 cross 1. And then output here, third layer activation function outputs and corresponding vectors will be shown as X out 3, and these belonging to, and these are nothing but outputs also, Y1, Y2, so we will call this as Y vector, and these belong to this, as we have only 2, so are 2 cross 1. This is also known as this one response vector. Response vector, or you can also call it as output because it is final layer, and this whole layer from this to this, from the output of second layer activation function up to the activation function here, up to the, not including the output of this third layer, up to this will be known as output layer. And from the output of this up to the activation function, excluding the output of this these activation functions, will be known as second hidden layer. And from this output up to the first layer of activation functions, excluding the output, we will be calling as first hidden layer. So now with this background, with these representations and nomenclatures of weights activity level vectors, V1, etc., and activation functions and the outputs here. We will be now discussing this backpropagation learning algorithm. So what we have just seen here in this one, this whole is known as multi-layer perceptron neural network, multi-layer MLP neural network architecture. So in the next lecture, we will see that what is the backpropagation learning algorithm for MLP neural network and how it works. Thank you.